Hello, my name is Lori Lee Triplett, and I am the author of the book Indigo Quilts with my sister Kay Triplett, who is the curator and owner of all of these wonderful quilts. The Poos Collection, which is the focus of the 30 quilts, is named to honor our grandmother. But the real true eye behind the collection is Kay Triplett. And I think you'll agree when you take a look at these, what an eye she has. Now, the collection itself is one of the largest privately held collections in the world, and it features not only quilts, but textiles from all over the world. I mentioned that the collection also contains textiles from all over the world. So I thought you might be interested to see an African piece. This one is an endop piece from Cameroon, and it has wax indigo resist. You'll want to pay attention to the two-tone blue color because that's a clue later on. This piece is hand loom. Remember, in Africa, they start with the cotton and create the piece from scratch, which really reflects their full artistry on display in this piece. Now, this piece is a panel from Colonial America, 1700s, and you'll also notice that it has a two-tone indigo blue to it, which for us gave us a clue on where the artistry must have come from, which allowed us to trace it back. So look at the details that you see. This is also hand woven. It's a linen blend, and we see the two colors of indigo contained in the one piece and design. Now let's contrast those two colors of blue with a piece made during the same period, the 1700s. And here we see a completely cotton front with only one color of blue and lots of little dots or picotage. This pattern print has been traced back to Rouen, France, and that allowed us to see two different styles of indigo resist during the same time period. This is a wonderful whole cloth quilt that is in the Poos Collection and really displays the fabric of the period in its full value. Now, this quilt we wanted to show you because we had a surprise when we hung it in the exhibition. It's a feathered star with crossroads, and it has three initials in the quilting itself, which is in the lower right-hand corner. And if you look in the book, you'll see a close-up of those initials. But the surprise was when we hung it and got to see, we looked down, and in one of the other blocks there were three additional initials that are not the same. S-E-W. Let me show them to you. Guess what that means? More research. Now, this quilt is a Lemoyne star quilt, but I nicknamed it Constellation because it doesn't look like all the pattern is there, does it? But if you get really close, you realize that the stars are actually all present, but unfortunately, it's a fugitive dye. They perhaps didn't use indigo on those stars, and so the dye color, through time, ran away. Now, this is a masterpiece quilt called True Lover's Knot, and in it you'll see an example of some amazing hand techniques. We have applique, piecing, reverse applique, embroider, and the quilting is triple rows. One row wasn't enough for this masterpiece artist. To get those details and more about this exhibition of the Indigo Quilts, be sure you check out Indigo Quilts, 30 quilts from the Poos Collection, and also the history of indigo.